The 10 best tips that help me lose over 40 pounds, keep on my muscle, and actually get me shredded without going skinny fat. So first off, we got gum. Honestly, probably one of the biggest saviors that I had when I was trying to lose the 40 pounds. The big thing with gum is it's only like 4 to 5 calories. So when you're actually chewing gum, you're actually burning more calories than you're really taking in. The big tip that I would use all the time was I would have fruit flavored gum, whether or not I was driving in my car or at home. Sour Patch Kids right here, fruit flavored, was one of my favorite ones. Keeps the taste, it's a bigger piece of gum, and it just really helped me. For mint, on the other hand, I would usually have mint gum when I was at the gym, in social settings, out for dinner, like literally whenever. These help me so much, just have that kind of sweetness that I wanted, especially with the fruit, because if you're craving kind of like something sweet, the fruit one came in handy, as well as the mint one when you're out in those social settings. So this is what you're gonna do today. You're gonna grab a pack of mint gum as well as fruit gum, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna keep the mint gum with you for those social settings, like maybe in your work bag, your lunch kit for work, whatever it is. And then fruit gum, you keep on you, usually in your car, just on you. I'd have it in my backpack all the time or whatever. Just keep it on you at all times. And the big thing for it too is I'd have it in between meals most of the time, because maybe that's where I get a bit more hungry and I'm like, okay, I want to push that lunch meal a bit later. Gum would come in handy. But the big thing is you have to keep it on you or you're not actually going to use it. And gum is super easy just to carry with you wherever you go. You don't even need to have these big packs like me. You could have those smaller ones that are like kind of shaped like a little carton. Those are super easy to carry on you as well. And then you have no excuse, whether or not it's on your desk at home, on your nightstand, just literally keep it on you at all times and life will be so much easier for you. Next up, we got the food scale. Yes, this one's boring. Everyone knows what this is and no one likes actually tracking their calories. But I realized once I started tracking how many calories I was actually going over, and I wasn't even in that deficit to actually lose weight. Because if you're not in a calorie deficit, plain and simple, you're not going to cut down, you're not going to lose the fat. And super easy thing with this is you don't need to carry it with you all the time. I used to work my job from 4 a.m. to 3 p.m. every single day. I would just in the morning or the night before, track it before, put it in a little container, and it's easy and ready to go. And in the long run, it will save you time as well as save you money from going out and actually buying food that you don't really need, that don't really get you to your goals. So what you're going to do today is you're going to buy a food scale if you don't already have one. I would suggest getting a digital one. It makes it a lot easier. You can get it from Amazon, Walmart, Target, honestly wherever they have them. They're super cheap, like $10. And what you're gonna do is, yes, you can track it for a long time if you'd like, but I want you to track it every single day for 2 to 3 weeks. So whether or not it's some sauces, whether or not it's your chicken that you're weighing, whether or not it's whatever, just track what you're eating, and you'll realize that once you start doing that over the next 2 to 3 weeks, you'll kind of get an idea of what portions you're actually eating, and then it gets easier to not have to track them in the future, because who wants to track their calories forever? Not me, no one wants to, but getting the idea of it and actually learning will help you in the long run. So making the little investment of $10 on a food scale is really going to be the difference of you seeing that belly fat actually go away and get that lean, toned physique that you want. Next up, we got creatine. And honestly, a lot of people overlook creatine. You hear all these things on the internet, take it, don't take it, you know, whatever, right? I took creatine when I was trying to gain weight, when I was trying to cut down, as well as even just trying to body recomposition and stay at the same weight. Big thing with creatine, it's going to keep your muscles more full and keep your strength, which is a huge thing, because when you're cutting down, you know, you hear lose strength, right? Combined with a good diet as well, of course, but you will actually be able to get stronger so you can actually keep your muscle while cutting down, because if you do not and you don't keep your muscle when cutting down, you're just going to go skinny fat. So what I want you to start doing today, if you have creatine or you don't, get the creatine. You can get it on Amazon. There's super cheap ones. That's what I would recommend. Or you can go to your local pharmacy or even supplement store and have it. It's super affordable and it's super easy. What I want you to do is take it with your breakfast every day. So you can either mix it into like a meal if it's more of a liquidy meal, or just have it with some zero sugar juice in your coffee, in your water, whatever, right? I put in my coffee normally every morning, but the big thing too is try to stay consistent with it. Once you start having it with your breakfast every single day, it's going to be easy, just like brushing your teeth in the morning. It's going to be hard to forget. So try try to take it every morning especially. I wouldn't take it later in the day. Take it in the morning, drink lots of water throughout the day because that's what creatine does. It holds on to water and keeps it in your muscle. So I want you to have it every single morning. Try not to skip it, make it a routine, and you'll see the results come. Now we got water. So to go back with creatine, water is super important, of course, just to drink lots of it. So you're actually using the creatine to your advantage, so you're actually building muscle with it. But the big thing too is a lot of the time when I was trying to cut down, I thought I was always hungry. I was craving something, right? But a lot of the time, your body is actually just thirsty and you're not actually hungry. So drinking water, because of course it's 0 calories, it's easy to drink, and it actually will fill you up. If you drink a lot of water, you could get full off water, which is crazy. As well, it just replenishes you, refreshes you, and it's honestly just going to help you so much get through the day. So what I want you to start doing today is actually keep a water bottle with you at all times. I always keep water with me wherever I go. The gym, in the cup holder in my car, literally wherever. My nightstand. Water is so important, so I want you to start drinking 2 to 3 liters a day, right? I go through probably like 5 or 6 water bottles at least a day, and I want you to start implementing them with your meals. So when you're eating your meals, drink sips of water while you're drinking your meals, because you'll actually realize if you just eat a whole meal, you might be hungry after, but if you're drinking the water throughout the bites of the meal, you'll feel way more full at the end of the meal. So big thing, drink 2 to 3 liters of water, as well as keep a bottle on you at all times. Now we got one of my favorites as well. We just got some coffee. So the big thing with coffee is it is actually helps with suppressing your appetite, as well it gives you energy, and it's just super easy to start your morning with because you have a hot cup of coffee, iced cup of coffee. It's super easy. But the big thing you might be doing right now is adding lots of creams and sugars, which is where those hidden calories really are. So what I do, if I want a little something sweet with my coffee, I'll put almond milk in it, and it'll honestly really help me just get that coffee flavor that might just be too strong for you, that you don't like, out of the way, and actually make it more enjoyable for you to drink. So how I want you to actually start using coffee today is either have it with breakfast, have it in between your breakfast or lunch, or even maybe like right before your lunch. Drink coffee. You could even have 2 to 3 cups of this, whatever caffeine you need for that energy to actually keep you energized and just awake throughout the whole day. But don't add that extra bullshit that you don't need. Try the almond milk. Try sugar-free syrup if you have to. But coffee alone, like, I can drink it. I like the taste of it. But you'll realize that when you're drinking these, that you will feel so much more full, and it's actually going to give you energy throughout the day. Now we got either notes or a journal. So even in your phone app, you can do this as well. But the big thing for me for this is I was tracking mainly through my phone as well as the journal, but tracking maybe what I was eating, my workouts, maybe even just how I felt that day. Because on those off days where I was tired, I just had more cravings, I could go back and see, like, where did I mess up? The big thing too is also planning your day with it, because having structure to your day will set you up for success. So planning out what I was going to do that day to be able to actually succeed and get to the goals that I have for myself, so I didn't feel like there was any empty space throughout the day. So what I want you to start doing today is every night before you go to bed, writing your notes or your journal. Honestly, it takes 2 minutes. It might seem like, I don't really want to do this. That's how I felt as well. But once I started doing it, I realized that I got results way more consistently. So what I want you to write down is your steps. So at the end of the day, you're trying to get 8 to 10K steps, of course, to cut down, as well as your meals. What did you eat that day? As well as even your sleep. Maybe the night before you can write it, you got that day before, maybe you got 7, 6. You worked an early shift. You're only able to get 4 hours that day. Write it down and track it. You'll realize you can check at the end of the week how that week was structured, and maybe where you were more tired throughout the week. Maybe you were able to work better during this time of the week, and you'll go back and see, like, okay, I did these things, and that's why I had that outcome. Next up, we got headphones. And you might be thinking right now, how does headphones help with fat loss? To be honest with you, I am such a believer that music can completely change your mindset or your emotions for that day. You might even feel it right now. If you're having a bad day, or you're feeling tired, putting on like your favorite music or just something to amp you up, a podcast, whatever, just listening to something will completely change the way you feel. So whether or not, like, after work, when I work those long 10-hour shifts, waking up at 4 a.m. absolutely exhausted, on that car ride home to keep me going, I'd play some like EDM, funk, whatever, just maybe some motivational podcast, whatever, and that would set my tone for the rest of the day. Because most of the time I drive home from work and I'd be tired, and I'd honestly just wouldn't want to do anything for the rest of the day. I'd want to go home, maybe watch some Netflix, maybe take a nap, whatever. But once you start listening to music, music, you'll realize that your whole day will change when you plan around what music do I want to listen to. I actually have one of my guys who works with me right now. He plays a song every single day and it starts his day, and I started actually listening to it as well, and it's just like a motivational song with like words that just motivate you. And starting your day off with music, something that's going to uplift you, maybe when you're tired, maybe when you don't want to do it, will completely change that whole day. So what I want you to do is maybe create a playlist. You can make a couple different ones. Maybe your morning routine playlist, maybe your gym playlist. Make it something that you actually enjoy, that actually motivates you. For me, a lot of the time, it was these like SoundCloud EDM musics where it was like super high funk with like someone yelling at me. Maybe it was David Goggins in the background, Andrew Tate, whatever, some motivational person talking, and that just like would literally just light me up to just work out, because I don't even use like pre-workout or anything. So when I was doing something, an activity or whatever, I would just put on some music that I really enjoyed, and that would completely just change everything for me and set me up to do those things that I really didn't want to do. Next up, we got seasonings and sauces. And honestly, I overlooked seasonings and sauces for a while, because why do most people fall off a diet plan? Because it's boring, it's bland, it's the same thing every time. But just adding seasonings or even low-calorie sauces can completely change a meal for you. Every meal I'd like switch it up, whether or not it was like Montreal steak seasoning, whether or not garlic powder, cinnamon, like I put it on meats, I put on veggies, lemon pepper, whatever it is, because honestly, like that is the reason why you probably haven't been able to cut down, is the food that you're putting into your body. And I know what it's like. I used to binge eat every night. I used to do all these things that of course I wanted this goal, but I wasn't doing the actions to do it. So changing your diet up and actually switching it up with low-cal sauces or seasonings. We just got some here, like, ginger, I don't even know, turmeric, whatever kind of seasonings I found around. But it's so much easier when you actually enjoy the meals you like, because it's actually going to get you to your goals a lot quicker than when you don't have that satisfaction from the foods you eat and then you get those cravings later. So what I want you to actually start doing today is make sure you start using seasonings into your meals. Garlic powder is one of my favorites. Lemon pepper I really like. There's like Montreal steak. You can go to the grocery stores, whether or not it's, Safeway, Target, Walmart, and they have all these kinds of different ones. It's crazy. They'll have like meat flavored ones, bacon flavored ones, whatever, and it will completely change the meal, as well as low calorie sauces. So big low calorie sauces that I use right now is either mustard, because mustard is 0 calories, even honey mustard as well is really good and also 0 calories. Sriracha is low calorie. Hot sauces, you can find low calorie barbecue sauces. Soy sauce is very good. There's all these different ones, and what you can do is just start using those with your meals. If your meals kind of seem boring, start throwing those in, and then you get bored of the sauce after a while, swap it out from one of the ones I said, and then even seasonings as well. And I'm telling you, it's going to completely change your meals, and you're actually going to look forward to actually eating these meals, and then you'll even look more forward to it because it's getting you to your goals of actually wanting to be lean toned and just have that athletic physique that you've been wanting for so long, just to get rid of that, belly fat that no one likes. Next up was looking at before pictures. So this is one of my biggest motivators when I was actually trying to cut down, because of a lot of the time was I was so unmotivated some of those days where I didn't want to show up and do anything. But after looking at an old photo like that, I was so motivated because I never wanted to look like that again. And realizing that when you look at that photo, it's going to tell you that, man, I know why I'm doing this. I know why I'm working towards this, because I know how shit I felt when I was at that point in my life and how much more better I can be instead of that old self of mine. And then you'll look back like I am now and be like, holy crap, I can't believe I used to look like that. So what I want you to do starting today is take a photo of yourself right now. Take your shirt off, go in the mirror, take a photo. And if it helps, I used to even put it as my lock screen photo, because I'd wake up and I'd see that and I'd be like, holy crap, I'm never going back to that. And it just gave me more drive to just work harder. So even having that as your lock screen and your camera roll as a favorite photo, and you just look at it from that time when you're not feeling as motivated, it'll completely change your mindset towards wanting to actually maybe not do those things that you really should be doing that day, so you never feel like that again. Next up, switching from bigger plates to actually smaller plates. You might overlook this one. I used to for the longest time and thought it was really weird. But switching from bigger plates, because even those portions that you have on a big plate like this looks a lot smaller. So your brain is actually going to tell you that you're not as full as you actually are. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna just switch to a smaller bowl or even plate, and it's going to look more full, telling your brain that you've ate enough for that day. And it's crazy to think about, that actually works, but it does, as well as even switching to smaller utensils. So maybe instead of using a super huge fork or big spoon, I would switch to the smaller size utensils. So maybe it takes me a bit longer to eat to keep me full for longer. Literally just switching it, it's the craziest difference. Whether or not I was at work using what they provided or just using smaller meal prep containers, as well as just literally at home, putting it on the smallest plate, having it filled over on that small little bowl or plate to make it look like I was eating way more than I actually was. So what I want you to start doing today is you're not going to be touching your bigger plates or your bigger bowls for a while. You're going to completely switch to smaller plates and bowls with every meal you eat. I want you every time, breakfast, lunch, dinner, you're having a quick snack, put it on the smaller size plate or bowl, mix with the utensils as well. And I'm telling you, you are going to feel more full, as well as you're not going to have to be worried too much about tracking your calories as much, because once you eat off those bigger bowls, I would eat way more afterwards because I was still hungry, and then it would just screw me over and put me over that calorie surplus where I was just kind of staying stuck at that weight that I didn't want to and still being overweight. Switch to the smaller bowls and plates. I'm telling you, you are going to stay so much more full for so much longer. So now you got it all. The 10 best tips that help me lose over 40 pounds, keep on my muscle, and actually get me shredded without going skinny fat. These aren't any like magic tips or anything. These are super easy things that you can implement literally starting today, and not only myself, but all my clients use as well today for tips to get them throughout the day as well. So if you're someone that, struggles trying to lose the weight, but, it's been a while, just spinning your wheels, it sucks. I know how it feels, man. I've been there too. So try these out. Let me know what you think. And also, if you've tried it for a while and you just really feel stuck and you feel like you need that extra boost of, someone to keep you accountable, someone to give you the exact plan to get there, I am also an online fitness coach as well. As I mentioned earlier, I work with lots of guys, getting them into the best shape of their lives. Comment ready if you're actually interested, or just check out my Instagram. It's Evan Trussell. It's the same as my YouTube. I got a bunch of tips there for different meals you can try, everything. And you can even DM me on Instagram if you just maybe want me to build you like a starter meal plan to go along with these tips as well. But other than that, I'll see you in the next video.